My mother, how shall I put this, was a very complicated woman. Gone now far longer than I ever knew her, I can only hope to understand her contribution to my life by sort of studying the clues she left behind in disconnected moments, like a movie trailer that tells the entire narrative in tiny kisses of black. My mother always had a very interesting take on the world. Case in point, it's 3:30, I'm back home after school, I'm sitting on the couch with her, probably watching Soupy Sales. And apropos of nothing, she takes a drag on her unfiltered Chesterfield and lets fly something that I've been pondering for decades. Mothers, she says, are the most destructive force in the universe. I know, I mean, Hitler, polio, the atomic bomb, and mothers. Cut to me, dumbfounded. I was speechless. I mean, I'm 9. But even in my child's mind, this remark was stunning. I mean, I remember thinking, what was she talking about? Herself? If so, this were a wildly apocalyptic interpretation of the smart, funny mommy that I knew and loved. The most destructive force in the universe. I mean, really? What was she observing the enormous influence that mommies have potentially over their children? Or was this a comment on the withering power of a raised eyebrow? Or was this an apology for a time bomb that she had planted in my psyche? Well, mission accomplished, Ma. Or an even more baffling possibility. Did she mean her mother, my delightful grandmother? I mean, what soul-destroying transgression could she have made? Oh, is that what you're wearing? No, this was a different world. This was a different world, and I doubt very much whether my mother's friends would have understood her point of view, and I knew my father couldn't. So I guess that left me. My mother, Charlotte, was born in 1927, the only child of Rose and Jack. One can assume that Charlotte failed to project the air of mystery desired by this young woman coming of age in the Flatbush section of Brooklyn, and at some point in her teens, she changed her name and rebranded herself the exotic, worldly Charlene, which according to the Social Security Department was the 157th most popular name of the 1930s, the number 1 being Mary. A family dentist, a creepy family dentist, I might say, said, "Your mother's name is Charlene. What is she, from the deep south?" You know, my mother always made it perfectly clear that she paid dearly to be called Mommy. I'm the oldest of 2, but I wasn't the first. There were repeated injections of diethylstilbestrol and a series of painful procedures. You know, my brother and I would be reminded of this fact whenever we were particularly annoying. "This is how you treat me? For you, I had my tubes blown." That's right. Having her fallopian tubes popped open with compressed gas was excruciating, and she wanted us to appreciate that. She wanted me to know she had paid a price to have me, and at least I could do was vacuum my damn room. Well, her life ended abruptly over 30 years ago. I mean, there's so many questions unanswered, like, what was on her mind as she performed the cha-cha on the very edge of the Ocean Parkway station while her husband and sons begged her to stop, move away, please? Again, a very complicated woman. My mother once cautioned me that I was only going to remember of my childhood, that all I was going to remember of my childhood was the crap. She warned me of that. And I disagree. And as I play these random scenes in my mind, I think I understand why my mother chose to demystify her role as mother. I mean, to make me hear the woman who just happened to be my mother. She was teaching me the most important lesson a son could ever learn, which is how to live a meaningful life with another woman. And that education continues. And everything I've come to understand about the magnificent power, the loving power of motherhood, I've learned from my darling Ellen, the woman who was courageous enough to marry me. Thank you.